And who's a founder? What's up, Cam? I know you're a founder. Setter, closer, founder, or newbie if you're not in this, like not an offer yet. I'll tailor it best I can. Newbie. Cool. All right. Sick. Closer. If you're a closer, what offer? Closer, setter, what offer are you on? Like, what do you guys sell? Let me know in the chat. Because how I sell non-ROI offers like fitness or men's work is a little bit different than biz op B2B. So let me know. Okay, cool. Fitness, organic content. That's cool. Mindset coaching, digital nomad of course, now we know that. Thank you. Who just realized their camera was off? Guys, if you can't figure out your camera, remote closing might not be for y'all. All right, keep coming in. What else do we have here? Business coach. Okay, cool. How do I pronounce your name? Come off mute. Neonika. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that is Neonica. My bad. I'm sorry. I was just finishing up dinner, so give me a minute. I'll put on my
Neonika.
camera.
I love your name.
It's 9 p.m. where I'm at, so apologies for
Committed.
that.
That's what it takes. All right, all good. Cool. Sweet, guys. Well, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to go into the discovery frameworks that I use and still use and that I teach. My philosophy is the sale is won or lost in your discovery, typically in your first 5 to 8 minutes. That's what we're going to go into. Okay. And I have some examples, all the things. I blocked off 2 hours. This will probably be here for an hour and a half. First 45 minutes to an hour will be the structured training. And then the last 20, 30 minutes Q&A. And feel free to ask me any questions, like even if it's like something about getting started, or if you want me to, roll something with like an objection that you're constantly getting, we can tailor the Q&A to exactly what you guys need. And for those of you guys that are looking for more like advanced training, you can always DM me after. I'll share a couple resources towards the end. If you guys do find this valuable, want more of this. Lizzie, girl, I've already seen your face. Don't hide it. Don't hide it.
Sorry, I'm like shoving food in my mouth in between my calls, but I'm here. I've been on calls all day. I'm sorry.
All right, cool. Fatima, what's up? Sam, what's up? What's up, Britt? We just got off the phone. I love your profile picture. All right, let's get into this, or else I'm going to be here all day. So let me share my screen. Lindsay, you're the host. Can I share my screen, please? If you guys don't know Lindsay, by the way, some of you guys have met her already. She runs one of the trainings in the paid community. Lindsay started about a year ago in like a program to help her break into the industry. And she's really gone through it. She's really gone through like between shit offers, and she, for you guys that don't know her, she's very good now. Outbound queen, like very good setter. And her last offer, she was selling was like upwards of like 25K packages. Yeah. So if you guys get a chance to jam with her, she's a rock star, and she's with us now. All right, cool. Let's get into this. I put this together in 2 minutes. Just kidding. Okay. How many of you guys have heard this? Let me know in the chat. Sales is the highest paying job in the world. We've all heard that, right? How many of y'all believe that? How many of you guys believe that? Kind of. Yeah, there you go, Cameron. Yes, it is the highest paying job in the world, but this was this year. The average sales rep makes the median sales rep makes $63,000 per year, which after taxes is probably like 48K, which is like what, $3,500 a month. For those of you guys that are closers, the amount of shit that we deal with, the 10 to 12 calls you take a day, 6 days a week, is $3,500 fucking enough? No, it's not. So here's the thing. I think there's a very skewed perception about sales. Like high ticket sales is no different from sales. It's branded for a lot of people of like this new remote opportunity, but it is sales. You are going to make money based on your performance, which is based on your skill set. Okay. So I like to keep these things as real as I can. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, like I'm as transparent and real, because sales isn't for everybody. It is not for everybody. I spoke with Joel Elster. one of the top recruiters in the high ticket space. He runs Nomadic Closers. Shout out to him. Super sweet guy. How many of you guys know Nomadic? They're probably the biggest recruiting agency in the industry. I mean, on the chat. How many of you guys know Nomadic? Cool. Yeah, they're awesome. Joel, we just had dinner because he lives here in Medellin. I live here in Colombia. And he was like, dude, there is no shortage of offers. Last month, he told me he onboarded like 17 businesses that needed 3 to 5 closers. One of them needed like 18 closers. Like these are big companies. Okay. There is a shortage. I'm going to go back. There's a shortage of good sales reps. There is always going to be a shortage of good sales reps. No matter what the economy is doing, if you can sell, you will never be out of work. Okay. If you guys, how many of you guys know or have seen my student Dimena? Let me know in the chat. Yes, all the closers are in Medellin, and 10 more are coming in March because all my students are coming down. How many of you guys know or have seen my student Dimena? Maybe seen my case study with her, seen her in my stories. Let me know in the chat if you've seen her. She's the 20-year-old. She's young, blonde. Okay. Reason I bring her up, Dimena, like actually I got another text from closers.io this morning. They're like, hey, did Dimena find a new role yet? Because we really want to hire her. Okay. The reason I share that, it's not to toot my own horn, is that once you are good, all it takes is one person knowing you're good, and you will never struggle to find offers. She is now in like 3 or 4 recruiting pools. Her problem now is like, dude, I have too many good offers. I don't know which one to take. Now, it wasn't always like this when she hired me like 4 months ago. She wasn't making squat. She ended up getting fired. But I want all you guys to, like, whether you're setting or closing or new, just there is no shortage of good offers. And there is a broken belief in this industry that if you can just get on a good offer, then you'll make money. And what you're doing is being your prospect because you are externalizing your success. Okay? You guys with me so far? I might drill into you guys today because I want you guys to make money. You guys with me? And I'm going to be asking because, like, if I don't hear responses, like, I just have a existential crisis. What's up, Tommy? All right, thanks. Tommy, you've been here before. Cool. So we're going to go into the 3 key components that I use. We're actually going to focus on one because or else we'll be here all day. That I use and I still use to average 20 to 25K in commission. Now, I want to be really clear about this. I now run a sales training business. I train multiple sales teams. We do recruitment and we also do coaching. My income is far beyond that now. But I do not like, and I think it's incredibly dishonest, when sales coaches tell you their income and try to pass it off as commission. Okay. When I was full-time closing and I was on anywhere from 1 to 3 offers, I was averaging 20 to 25K per month in commission. Okay. Now there's reps that have done more than that. I was able to do that quite consistently for almost 3 years, about 18 months on just one offer. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys today. You guys with me? Cool. We cool if we just keep it real? Yeah. It's like when people are like, oh yeah, I'm 100K per month closer. What's that mean? Revenue? Or is that how much you're making? So just a lot of BS. So I try and keep it real. Okay, cool. If you are off mute, just mute yourself so you don't distract me because ADHD is real. Okay. The viral posts that you guys have seen about objection handling and like these smooth word tracks, unfortunately, oftentimes are role plays. Not always. There's still some great trainers and closers out there, but a lot of times those are role plays. And these are hyper complex things that aren't always needed. Okay. Now you guys do need to know how to handle objections. That is the job. Okay. I rate my success of my sales call if my objections are money and fear. Okay. You need to know how to handle those because that is the job. If objections didn't exist, you wouldn't have a job because companies would just direct people to that checkout link. Okay. But if you're getting all these random objections that you see go viral on TikTok and Instagram, it just means your discovery is shit because people don't trust you. Okay. Or you haven't found enough of an emotional driver. You haven't amplified the problem enough because your questions are weak. And it's leading to that at the end. Okay. How many of you guys have heard the symptom versus problem analogy? Let me know in the chat. Which, by the way, does work. Yes, I bet. Yes, yes. Yeah. Sales call. Symptom, a bunch of BS objections. Problem, your discovery sucks. Okay? Think about it that way. I like to figure out my concerns at minute 10, not minute 50. For all of you guys here within your first year, expect to look for high volume offers. Not always the case, but especially in your first 3 to 6 months, you want to take as many sales calls as possible if you're completely new. Okay. I've been doing this for 5 years. Guys, I've taken thousands of sales calls. So my ability to be flexible is very different than if I was training someone who's, in their second month. Okay. Regardless, I want to find the concerns at minute 10, not minute 50. If someone is, if it's difficult for them to let go of money, I want to uncover that minute 10, not at minute 50 after I've price dropped and I have to handle even more objections when I have 8 more calls to deal with. Okay. So I don't want every call to feel like a battle personally. Again, if you're in your first year, expect to take a lot of calls. So you don't want every call to exhaust you. And I do enjoy helping people make money. By the way, too, when you do a good discovery, even if you help people overcome their fear, you'll likely have a lot lower of a refund rate. Because what happens with a lot of closers that hard close people, right? Their refund rate are high. Because in the info product space, guys, even if someone signs a contract, it really doesn't mean shit. They could charge back within 2 weeks and they would probably win. And that usually means clawbacks on your commission. So we want to keep our refund rate low by being in integrity and actually closing people in a moral way, I guess I could say. Okay, you guys with me so far? Told you I'm gonna check in on you guys. Did I lose? Who did I lose yet? I can't see you guys, so good to go. Thanks, Janelle. Janelle just joined the party recently. So, okay, we're going to focus on how to find problems. I'm going to give you guys some questions, some word tracks, some scripts. We're not going to do 2 or 3 of us. We'll be here all day. Okay. So how many of you guys have seen the Who Am I slides? Tommy has, just because Tommy's a homie. All right. Some of you guys haven't. Cool. Can I take 30 seconds to why the fuck you guys should listen to me? Do I have permission, Dari, to pitch myself? All right. You guys can tell we have a lot of fun here. Cool. This was me before. Dude, this makes me laugh every time I see this. This was me before high ticket sales, and I didn't get into high ticket sales because I knew what it was. I got into this, like I said, I'm like close to 6 years ago now. Industry is very different. It's actually very underground back then because there wasn't influencers telling you can make 10K a month from the beach. Okay. It was just like, if you knew, you knew. It was members only. It was fucking sick. Okay. And I'm not going to go into it, but I'd made my couple businesses didn't work out. I was day trading things. I shouldn't have been day trading because I didn't make a lot of money doing that. And I ended up burning my account. I was 26 at the time, maybe. So I got into sales later in life. I was like 20, going on 27. I think I was 27. So I was like an older dog in the race. You see a lot of young 20-year-olds that, can take 15 calls a day. I knew I didn't want to do that. So I knew I had to get good. Okay. Now, and I took a screenshot of this Gusto payment because it just hit home. Okay. And I keep this because it's a good reminder of what's possible with the right skill set. Okay. Now, this is the byproduct of the skill and the work ethic. But the real reason I got into, I'll get into that in a second. A little bit of my, accolades. Is that what it's called? I've done about 6 million in sales. I've sold men's work, business coaching, financial trading, digital nomad relocation. That was like a 17K ticket. So I've sold on 7 or 8 different offers. Okay. My philosophy is if you know how to sell, you can sell anything. Many of those offers I've been able to close my first call. Okay. I didn't even know what the fuck I was pitching. Like I said, I've averaged 20 to 25K commission months, not hey, I had one big month with coaching and all of a sudden I'm a 40K a month closer. Y'all, I know who you are, motherfuckers. And then I've also been able to negotiate rev share and a base salary on 2 different offers. Now, that is not typical for a newbie. Okay. But if you're you've survived your first year, you are a top producer. There are some really cool opportunities in this industry. Okay. My basis of selling, my foundation is emotional intelligence. And what I was going to get into before, can I share the real reason I got into this? Accolades. That's what I said. Can I show the real reason I got into this? Oh, wait. Let's see. All right. My van. No, I got into do dope shit. I've surfed all over the world because of remote high ticket sales. I've snowboarded all over. It's me and my ex partner. We had an incredible 5 years together, going everywhere. Didn't even have to think about the things we were doing. But this was last February, about a year ago. Rented an RV in Japan, snowboarded all over with my best friend for about 2.5 weeks. Took my parents to Greece for their anniversary. Snowboarded or surfed in Alaska. I like doing crazy shit, and bought a lot of fun toys. This has been all over my Instagram. I sold her about a year and a half ago. But this is the real reason, guys. I get sometimes I get emotional, but yeah, my dad just turned 70 last week. I got to take him to I met him in Peru. We spent a lot of money on a massive party. And I sent him $2,000. So he and my mother can go to that #1 restaurant in Peru. It's a Michelin star. It's called Mego. They just beat Central, if any of you guys are foodies. And this is the real reason I got in. My parents are getting older. I have a younger sister that I know looks up to me a lot. And we have a huge family. A lot of my family is still in Peru. And I'm 33 now, and there's just more responsibilities that I'm taking on within my family, and not having to be in scarcity all the time has helped me take those on the chest. We've had a lot of people pass away over the last few years, and it's just, life is short. And when you have people that depend on you, like, being able to provide has been extremely, extremely fulfilling. I actually just flew my parents down a couple of weeks ago. They stayed with me here in Colombia. So I moved to Colombia recently, by like 8 months ago. And it's been an incredible journey so far. We're just getting started too. So we're going to talk about how to hit 15K per month in commission. Now, because the reason I like to aim for, or I like my students, especially if you're new, aiming for 15K a month, is everybody says 10K, right? 10K is not a lot of money. And it is in the beginning, right? For me in the beginning, making $5,000 a month was a lot. But then you make 10K and then you put money away for taxes and you realize it's actually not that much. So I really want the people that work with me to aim for a minimum of 15K per month, because the amount of time it takes in your first year, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes in it. Now that's for me, that's my bias. Whatever your income goal is, be clear on it for you. There's plenty of closers that are happy making $8,000 to $10,000 a month if they can take 4 calls a day. There's also other people that are not satisfied with $40,000 a month and are willing to do what it takes. It doesn't matter. Figure out what it is for you, because comparison in this industry will absolutely murder you. Okay. So find what your North Star is and stay clear to it. Now, what we're going to go into, or in a second, first is like, figure out your why, figure out your vision, and figure out why the fuck you're doing this, especially for all the newbies in here, guys, right? This is not a cakewalk industry. It will give you, if you survive, the ability to work remote all over the world and literally print thousands of dollars off the internet. Feels like magic. But the first 6 months to a year will test you physically, emotionally, all the things. So figure out why the fuck you're doing this. This is not something that you should test the waters in. If you have a real reason to succeed, you might have a shot at making it with the right people around. Okay? I'm not trying to scare people off. I've just seen too many people coming in with the wrong expectations and they get smoked. Cool? You guys with me? Did I scare anyone off? What's up, Demena? Is Demena here? Yeah, we were just talking about you.
What was going on?
We were talking shit about you. What's up, girl? All right. Did I scare anyone away? We awfully quiet. Awfully quiet in the DMs. All right. Thanks, Tommy. Cool. Let's go into the actual training. So how do you find problems? Okay. This is a very, there's different ways of selling. I think the most important thing is your first 5 to 8 minutes. How you open the call, what you listen for, and how you stack your problems, your problem questions, so you can find the deeper motivation, which is often or always dissatisfaction or unhappiness with a certain result in a certain area of someone's life. Okay? We uncover their goals, we uncover their problems, so we can uncover urgency and emotion. But we need to be able to cut through vagueness. Okay? So this, you guys should write this down. This is literally the foundation of my problem phase in my sales call. If you guys don't know what a problem phase is, or a situation phase, is typically in your opening of your sales call, you want to figure out someone's situation. But there's a right way and a wrong way. Sometimes people don't know how to lead those questions. Tell me about your situation. What's going on? What's making you want to change? Right? Those can often lead to surface level responses. So if you want to become a consultant or be seen as an expert, and this like with Demena was very important because Demena's 20 years old and she sells to guys that are double her age. If her questions aren't pointed, people just don't respect her, you know? So we need to be able to do this properly. So the way I like to do it, and this will be a little bit different for the non-ROI offers, is when I'm asking about their situation, I want a little bit of context. I want to know what method or what strategy or what process are they doing right now to solve their current problem or to get to the desired outcome. I want to tie a time frame to that because time frame to method often leads to dissatisfaction, which I'll get into a second. After time frame, I want to know the result for that time frame. And from result, I want to know what their progress is and if they're happy with that progress or if they're satisfied with the result. The reason why is because this leads directly into an emotion, which I can use to ripple effect into an internal belief set or a deeper reason why to change. We're going to go into this, guys, because I know this is like super high level. I'm going to show you exact questions you can use for this type of process. But this is how I like selling, and this is how I've been able to sell. Like the last offer, not the last offer, but one of the offers I was on was I was selling men's work and financial trading. Learn how to be a day trader, learn how to be a better day trader. My process didn't change. How I asked questions changed. But what I was looking for stayed the same. Really simple example with day trading, for example. What strategy you're currently following? What made you want to use that strategy? How long have you been using that strategy? What sort of month-to-month returns are you seeing using that strategy? Okay, and are you happy with those level of returns? Why not? No, because like you feel like you're leaving money on the table. Tell me a little bit more about that. How long you've been feeling like that for? Within 3 to 5 pointed questions, I found a real problem that now I can probe and unpack everything that goes into that. You guys with me? What's up, Sam? Sam, my Polish brother. Good to have you, brother. You guys good? You guys good? You guys learning something? Tommy's learning. Tommy's taking notes. Thanks, Britt. Yeah, Britt, you and I, I showed you a live example of what it would look like, but this is the foundation behind it. Okay. When it comes to sales training, I really find it more important not just to learn what to say, but why you're saying it. That way you can be much more flexible. Okay. So blank screen means Miro time. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Sick. Okay. I use Miro boards a lot for training different like thought flows. And so this is something like I run my students through. It's like how to sell any offer. And we have questions for each stage, like connecting, situation, problem. So I kind of, some of you guys have seen this before, but I dumbed it down into some clear examples here. And we're going to go into a second. What some of you guys, now there's a lot of newbies here, so I'm not gonna assume, never fucking assume. But these are like the commandments that anytime I'm thinking about what I want to say to a prospect, these are the things that go through my head. Okay. People buy from perceived authorities, and whoever is asking the question is holding the frame, and who's ever holding the frame is the authority. Okay. Frame battles is typically the foundation of a proper objection handling, but we won't go into that today. The most important thing for you guys to learn from this cheat sheet right here is that people will believe 10% of what you say, 90% of what they say. You guys have probably heard that before. Okay. I didn't come up with that. Okay? This is just the foundation of persuasion and influence. People believe 10% of what you say, what we say, 90% of this. And like, why would they believe more? Y'all are a bunch of sleazy salespeople. Just kidding. Just kidding. But like people have been on sales calls before. People know that they're there to make a decision that's oftentimes scary. Okay. So it's important to understand that whatever we say is filtered through a bias. Okay. How many of you guys have siblings? Younger siblings? Or older siblings? Siblings in general, right? Okay. When your sibling's telling you to do something and you're like, yeah, are you actually listening? No. Fuck no. Thank you, Sam. No, you're not listening. But if your sibling sat you down and said, hey, man, why do you think you do that? Where's that behavior come from? Do you see the impact it's having on mom? You okay with that? How much more effective would that communication be? Right? So it's the same thing in sales. Okay. Now, vagueness, make it bigger, will also cost you deals. Okay. This is minor, but I was training and I go back to this example often because I think it's really easy to understand. I was training a agency founder, and he would start his calls with like a decent connecting phase. And cool, man. So tell me about your ads. How they going? What response are you going to get? They're not bad. Oh, what do you mean? They're okay. Like now we have to do so much force digging. So anytime, whether you're using a script or you're reviewing a call, look at your questions. Like, why? Like, was my question specific enough to get the response I wanted? Okay. Instead of how your ads going, how much are you spending on ads? Week to week, how many leads are you driving in? How many of those leads are you converting? Out of that conversion rate, what does that equate to in terms of monthly revenue? Okay. We're seeking the same things, but which one is more pointed? And one of those makes you come across as an authority because you know what you're looking for. Okay. Again, just because Demena, your face is floating right here for some reason. But Demena, we worked on this because she's 20 years old and she sells to guys that are in their 40s who run businesses, often are semi-successful blue-collar guys that they see like a pretty blonde girl, like, oh, what's she going to sell me? So she needs to maintain authority or else they're not going to respect her enough to pay her. Is that accurate, D?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, very.
Sweet. Okay. So let's give you guys some things you can actually start using in terms of situation and problem stack. But I think too many people overlook how they're opening their call. Okay. Let me see you guys. Drop in the chat. What is your first question that you start a sales call with? See what you guys are working with. Oh, we got Evelyn in the mix too. What's up, Evelyn? How's your day going? Cool. Also, I see half of y'all with your cameras off. I'm about to just boot y'all. Take a hike. Just kidding. I'm not that mean. Okay. The opener is what you struggle with. Perfect, iPhone. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Rich has a decent one. How long have you been following? Great. Okay. For 2 years, this was my verbatim like opening. Oh, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? See me? Okay. Cool. Where are you calling it from? Awesome. How can I help? For 2 years, I did not change that. Now it's going to be a little bit different for you guys, but your opener is so important. It sets the cadence for the call. And so many people diminish their authority in their first 30 seconds by overdoing rapport. Okay. People know you're a salesperson. They know you don't give a shit where they live. If you're there, if your cousin went to New Orleans once in 2019, they don't give a fuck. Sorry, I'm cursing. Edna, I'm sorry if I'm cursing, Edna. So we want to be perceived as an authority. So I think it's really important to be reminded, guys, is your opening question. What we're looking for in your first 2 to 3 minutes is why us and why now. But do not settle for BS responses because this will guide the direction of the rest of the call. It sets the tone. It sets who the authority is. I'm not a firm believer, or I don't buy into setting a fucking 3-paragraph agenda. Agendas are important. I'm not going to say they're not, right? Like, in enterprise sales and things like that, agendas are important. And I think there's a good use case for agendas in what we sell. But the biggest pet peeve for me is when because I still buy it. I invest in coaching all the time. When I get on with the closer, awesome, cool. So what we're going to do today is, we're going to ask you a few questions. We're going to see if you're a good fit. If you're a good fit, then we'll, tell you what we do. And if you're not a good fit, we'll tell you and then you can decide if you want to work with us. Bro, I'm a good fit because I have money. Okay. So if someone's been on multiple sales calls, which they probably have, and you do the same thing that every other rep has, it's just going to piss them off from the beginning. So what I like to do is, hey, how can I help? Or, hey, welcome in. What made you want to book in some time with me today? Or what were you hoping to get out of the call with me today? Some direct opener. And for you guys that don't have a clear opener and you start implementing this, you will notice that your prospects like almost perk up. Because they're like, oh, okay, we're not here to fuck around. So, hey, how we doing? Can you hear me? Sweet. Not going to bore you. How can I help? Okay. Sharp, enthusiastic, straight to the point. I then like to ask, and I think that a few of you guys said this in the chat, what was it that you saw from the influencer that made you want to potentially explore this? Or what resonated from what you've been seeing? Okay. I like to ask this twice. No, what'd you see from us that made you want to potentially work with us or explore this? What was it you saw from our content that resonated? Don't settle for a surface level thing though. Ask it twice. Oh yeah, I've been following for a little bit. Like I really love the, the XYZ videos. Cool. What do you like about those? If you guys sell fitness, well, what do you like about so-and-so's content specifically? There's tons of fitness influencers out there. Right? From the beginning, why us and why now? Now we need a direction for the call. So this is a very simple goal-oriented question. For some offers, you can start with the challenge question. I like to start with some future, like what are we working towards? Okay. Really simple, cool. What's the and this all stacks, right? So it's like, cool, if this type of content has been resonating with you when it comes to losing weight, dropping that last, 10% of body fat, like what is the overarching goal for you specifically? Or what is the overarching goal that you're potentially looking for help with? Okay. Some clear direction. It's going to be a little bit different, but I'm just giving you guys the basics. Okay. If you're selling a non-ROI offer, like maybe fitness, or when I sold a lot of men's work, so what's been kind of going on that, has you potentially look for some help? I've asked these questions so many times that my pauses are all intentional, but these are the 3 to 5 questions that I'm always starting a call with, an actual sales call. Okay. And then we can even ask for a temp check on time. Okay, cool. So what's kind of shifted recently that's making this more of a good time? Or why is that important for you now? Okay, what has you looking into this now? So from the beginning, we're now leading the call. You guys with me? Might be a refresher for some of you guys. I know this is a refresher for my students. Good, good, good. Oh boy, here we go again. Yeah. Well, yeah, Sam, you've been around the block, my brother. Okay. So this lines us into the current situation that is what we really want to talk about today. But again, I don't want you guys skipping this because there's so much substance here. You should, I forgot to actually add this here, but also be adding cool. So if that resonated, did you get a chance to go through the resources we sent you before the call? Also very important. Because you can even start gauging, okay, this person hasn't gone through any of our shit. That's a problem. So you should also be doing that here in your connecting phase. If I left that out. Okay. Now we found why they're here. Okay. So someone give me an offer. Someone drop an offer in the chat. Let's make this real. What do you sell? Fucker. Mindset coaching, you prick. All right. Let's run with it. All right. Mindset coaching. Cool. So Sam, in the chat, you dick, but I got you. We're going to sell the shit out of this. Why are people booking in calls to get mindset coaching? What did they see from the ad of the influencer? Just put it in the chat for me. Okay, get them. Okay, get them unstuck. So, great. Okay, so they're stuck. They come on a call. They feel stuck. They don't have a lack. They have a lack of clarity. So with that example, cool. What'd you see from us? What resonated? Did you get a chance to go through our work or the resources we sent? Okay, and so what's been going on? So this is a non-ROI offer. What's been going on, like maybe from you personally, that has you reaching out to potentially get some help from us? Okay, that's how I would open up more of a non-ROI offer. Oh, well, I'm just feeling stuck. I'm feeling lost. Okay, let's understand a little bit more of your situation and see if we can even help you, because we can't help everybody. Help me understand right now. So we're going to have to come back to the ROI offer. So we'll start with the non-ROI offer. What's been going on in your personal life that has you reaching out for help? What are you actually feeling? And when you sell a non-ROI offer, I like to start with challenge earlier, because they can tell us that. They know what they're struggling. There's not as much data to stack, but there are behaviors that we can find. So I was selling a mindset offer. How many of you guys sell? You got to remind me, guys, because I can't keep up. Who here sells fitness, mindset, nervous system, something that doesn't directly mean more money? Just put a 1 in the chat. One fitness. Okay. Oh wow, a bunch of you guys. Okay, cool, sweet. So when it comes to, let's say the mindset coach example that Sam threw up, for example, one. Okay, cool. So we're feeling a little bit stuck when it comes to like maybe navigating, looking for clarity. What's been the biggest challenge with that? Okay. When I ask a challenge question, I typically like to ask it twice. Because how many of you guys ever ask a challenge question? This is a question for my fitness closers. And what's the biggest challenge with losing weight? Oh, it's that time of year. Well, I'm a mom, so I don't have a lot of time. Well, life gets in the way, right? You guys hear those? It's cold outside. Yeah, guess what that is? That's externalizing. So it's external. So I always like to ask it twice. Okay. So this is how we find the deeper problem very quickly. Cool. I get that. I get that you're a mom. We work with a lot of moms here. If I can ask directly, with what's directly in your control, what's maybe missing with how you're showing up, or what's maybe missing with how you're, following up, or maybe in terms of following through a program, what's maybe missing from you that has, led you to feel overweight for the last 2 years? Okay. We are finding the behavior that needs to change. So for non-ROI offers, there's a behavior, because a behavior comes from what? Bingo. The behavior comes from their beliefs. Yes. Thanks, Mimi.
Sorry,
Hey.
I blurted it out loud thinking that you could hear me.
Pay
and then I
attention to
realized
the
I'm
road, woman.
driving.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Behaviors come to their beliefs. Their beliefs is their limiting beliefs, their excuses, the things that will be objections later. Okay. So if you're selling a non-ROI offer, so in the example of mindset coaching, what's been going on, man, I guess, in your personal life that has you reaching out for some help now? Help me understand what's the biggest challenge when it comes to like navigating, this career change, right? Or navigating, this lack of clarity. What have you, what have you been experiencing? Just so I understand. Oh, it's just like there's this is the economy, blah, blah. Okay, man, I got you. I'm here to also coach you throughout this process, because we're obviously a coaching business. But so I'm going to be a little direct here with what's in your control. Okay, put all that noise to the side. What's missing with how you're doing X, Y, Z that's perpetuating this issue? Okay, you're typically going to get a deeper rooted problem. I don't know, man. It's just like anytime I try something, I give up. So I'm like thinking, what's even the point? Maybe I should just settle for X, Y, Z. What have we just found? We found beneath a behavior, right, which is maybe procrastination in this guy's example, or just lack of self-belief. We found the fear of maybe failing, the fear because of past efforts in this example. And now we're literally within 3 to 5 minutes of the call, and we can really probe and amplify. Well, what do you mean? What's been going on? Where's that come from? What's beneath that? Like for you personally, where do you think that comes from? And again, within our first 5 minutes, we're in the sauce. This is the problem. Okay. I'm going to now run the same thing for an ROI offer because there's a lot of newbies here. Like anyone really making 5K-ish a month, like you guys are still very green. So I'm going to do the same example for an ROI offer because it's a little bit easier to understand. Okay. Let me pause for a second. You guys learning? What are you guys learning? Give me something in the chat. Give me a quick takeaway. Two people come off mute. Let's hear from Agnes. Agnes, you learned something? That's all right. We'll wait. All right, she's shy. Angela, you learned something? Angela,
Yeah.
I have to butcher that. What'd you learn so far?
Really? I'm honestly just learning like more deeper questions. I feel like that's something that I really struggle with
Okay.
as a setter.
Okay. Cool. You're gonna like this next part then. This applies. This is actually how I train my setters. So we'll go into that. So thank you, Kiona. Yeah, skipping rapport, right? Exactly. That opens up. Like if you actually listen in your first 2 minutes with the proper connecting questions, you know exactly where to take the call if you actually listen. Most people are just going through their connecting questions like robotically, but that's where the direction is. Okay. Thank you, Elaine. No time wait. Yeah. Yeah, I was just reviewing a call for a team that I train, and like we just the owner hired a new rep, sweet guy, but way too much talking in the beginning that obviously wasn't going to close because the guy's like, yeah, I don't know. From the beginning, we're authority. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. I want to make sure we're pacing for time properly. So this is for not all setters, but most setting teams will sell some form of like an ROI offer. Not always, but this is how I train setters. The reason why I think there's a lot of coaches out there that like, oh, we have a setting course and we have a closing course. Start as a setter. We'll teach you how to be a setter. Nothing wrong with that, but like they're both parts of what? The fucking sales process. If you're a setter, you should be training on a process that's easily transferable to closing. So if you ever want to get into closing, you shorten your ramp period. If you're a closer and you think you don't need to know how to set, you're you're an amateur, but two, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Because there will be time. Tommy and Sam, you guys let me know if you agree with me. There will be times that marketing on your offer shits the bed. Yes or no? Tommy and Sam have actually been around probably as long
Absolutely.
yeah. And if you don't know how to hunt, if you don't know how to use your CRM, if you don't know how to just pick up the phone, start dialing, booking some appointments, your income will struggle. So closer, setter, whatever, you need to know how to find and hunt. And this is why I train setters on this exact process. Okay. So I know there's some setters here. If I'm selling a ROI offer, give me a biz op. Someone give me a biz op. Someone give me a bit. Real estate. All right, let's do real estate. Real estate is fun to sell because real estate agents are like the slipperiest salespeople. They're like insurance agents. They don't like answering questions because they don't make any money. Not all of them. Not all of them, guys. I'm just joking. I'm having a good time today. You guys can tell. I have a date tonight, so All right. Real estate agent. Let's say we're selling leads to a realtor. Okay. We've gone through our connecting phase. Help me understand, what are you doing right now so I can see if what we're doing even makes sense? What are you doing right now to capture new leads? Okay. For some of you guys, our gathering data questions might be more than one. When I sold financial coaching, I had like 6 questions I would ask about their financial situation that all falls under gathering data. But again, this is just an example. Okay. So what are you doing right now to drive in leads for your business? So I can understand if what we do would even make sense for you. Okay. How long have you been using that strategy? Let's actually, let's role play this out. I'm going to read this verbatim. Where's Lizzie? Lizzie, come off mute for me.
Hi. It's not real estate agents, by the way, but we can roll with it if you want.
We're rolling with it. We're rolling.
Okay.
Okay, cool. We're just gonna role play this out. I'll sell you. I'm just gonna read this pretty much verbatim. What are you doing right now, Lizzie, to drive in new leads for the business, just to see if what we do here would even make sense?
Like networking and
Mhm.
posting stuff on social media.
Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like since I started,
How long ago did you start?
like a year ago.
Okay, cool. And what caused you to go about it that way?
It just seemed easier to be honest. I don't know. A lot of people
Okay.
do it today, and a lot of people like looking at homes on Instagram. So I don't know.
Okay. And it makes sense, but I guess for you doing social media for like a year, how many, closing opportunities has that generated?
Oof,
Oof, what's
maybe
that mean?
5.
Maybe five or like five?
Like 5.
Five. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. And so 5 closing opportunities, what did that translate over this last year in terms of like commission for you?
Okay, I haven't sold real estate for a long time, so I don't know. I don't know, 40. What is a real estate commission? I don't even remember.
I don't know. You tell me. Throw out a number. It's fine.
Okay. 20K.
20K total or 20K a
Uh-huh.
month? 20K total? Okay.
Sure.
You okay with that?
I mean, no.
No, why not?
Um, because I feel like I have to push really hard to get there. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's not the
Mm,
number that's bad, but it's just like it's very forceful to get there.
what do you mean forceful?
Like I'm tired, bro. I work like 10 to 12 hours a day and I don't want to do
Wow.
that anymore.
10 to 12 hours a day to only make 20 grand.
Yeah.
How long you been feeling like that?
Since I started.
Okay. How's that sit with you, like personally, if I can ask?
Well, I'm like really exhausted. So like I wake up and I'm
Mm,
already kind of like crabby going into my day,
mm,
and I'm just like
mm,
not,
mm,
I don't know. I'm
mm.
not taking my care of myself, I would say.
Gotcha. Okay. We're going to pause there. Thank you for being a real prospect, Lizzie.
Sorry.
No, thank you. What'd you guys learn from that? Cooked. Do you guys see how quick you can find the real problem? Now, I do want to, like, I'm not here to show off, guys. This is like my tonality, my smile, my facial example, like things like this. This is thousands of sales calls worth of practice. Okay. It takes time. But what I do want to showcase is the framework with specific questions, with when we find real data, people cannot hide behind it. If we find real data and people can't hide behind it, guess what? We find the real emotion, we find the real problem. In this example, she was exhausted. She's putting in 10, 12 hours a week and barely and not making anything of return. So I can go into that. Well, what's been going on? Why are we okay with that? How long has that been going on for? Now I can stack deeper and deeper questions. But again, this is all happening minute 5 to 8. So now when I layer the next section of calls of like solution or doubt questions or rationale questions or future pacing and consequencing, it's all going to focus on something of substance. Okay. What iPhone just put in the chat, thank you, iPhone, was that there's these minor things that I do to cut through vagueness. I think I've like maybe like 5 deals, maybe. Did you close 5 deals? What's going on? These minor things that are also going to show your prospect, you're conditioning them that you do not accept bullshit. You do not accept vague responses. And if you can do this in minute like 3 and minute 5, and we're doing it always politely, I'm not being a dick. I'm smiling half the time, but I'm conditioning my prospect to not give me BS, which means at the end of the call, I'm less likely to get BS objections because they know Andrés does not fuck around. Okay. Glad you guys are with me. We kind of covered the non-ROI offers. Okay. And then from here, we can now pre-handle some objections. Now, in this example with Lizzie, there's still a lot more that I would unpack before I go into pre-handling. I would go into, why has it been so long? Like exhaustion. Tell me more about the exhaustion. How is that actually impacting your personal life? Is that impacting your ability to close? Okay, so this is a bigger problem than just social media marketing. This is actually affecting like how you're showing up. Okay, so maybe it's time to change that. Because what happens if you keep trying to operate your real estate business for another 3 months if you're already feeling exhausted, right? I'm already like challenging pretty quickly, but I also want to understand why the problem is still a problem. What have you what's been the biggest challenge in figuring out social media? What have you done? What's been maybe the most overwhelming thing about it? So these are now more pointed problem questions that I would want to uncover before I move into pre-handling objections. I want to make sure that's clear. By the way, guys, actually, I forgot to mention this. If you're a setter, you can verbatim go through this on a setting call. Verbatim. Your sets will be so much more quality. Your closers will absolutely love you. Instead of, oh, do you have 10 grand that if we put you on a call, we could, is now a good time? It's like, no, dude, this is your problem. Do you want help with that? All right, cool. Talk to so-and-so tomorrow. Okay. This is a verbatim setting script that I was actually trained on by one of my mentors. Okay. So once we found data, emotion, challenge, problem, whatever it is that they're tolerating, now I'll give you guys a couple things that you can do to pre-handle objections. Okay. This is what I mean. Money and fear objections are normal. They're part of the job, but I want to try this on my own. You still might get the competitor objection here or there, but there's ways to overcome that. I want to try this on my own. Now's not the right time. I don't know if I trust you guys. Like these are all things that you need to pre-handle. So these are 2 questions that I ask pretty much any time I'm selling something. Whether I sell recruitment services to, business owners that do $1 million a month. So I ask these questions to them, slightly different than I would like a B2C biz op lead. But after I found problem, right? Okay, cool. So if that's the problem, that's been going on for 6 months. So it's been a year that you're working 10 days, 10 hours a day. We've only made $20,000 from the closes you've had. Okay. So help me understand maybe what was it that you saw from us that made you think that we can help with all this, right? Again, we're inserting our solution our program as a solution, but we're having the prospect tell us. And here are 2 follow-up questions to that. Before you found us, like what else were you doing, or what else have you looked at, or have you looked with any other agencies, or have you worked with another coach? You haven't? How come? I didn't have any money. Guess what I just found? Money objection. I can talk about it then. What do you mean? Oh, dude, I have a lot of debt. I'm going ham on that at minute 10 instead of waiting to minute 50. Or yeah, I have worked with a couple other coaches. They're okay. Previous behaviors, past behaviors dictate future. So if I don't challenge that behavior, I'm going to get an objection at the end of the call. And one of my favorite questions, this is from Grandpa Jeremy Miner, is a rationale question, which I think he ripped from Michael Oliver, but I don't know. Cool. And just so I understand, this is a rationale question. Why us first do it yourself, or why us first competitor, or why us first another methodology? So when I sold financial coaching, my first few calls, I got the coaching sounds great, but I want to talk to a financial advisor first before we move forward with you. And I didn't know how to handle that at the end of the call. So I just started asking about it earlier. Because after you've pitched, guys, there is sales resistance. You've talked money, there is going to be sales resistance no matter how much rapport you have. So these are the things we want to do in our discovery when we're still in like the conversational stage, because there's much less sales resistance unless you're bringing it up, unless you're making it happen. So I guess just so I understand from your perspective, what's the rationale, potentially getting some outside support with your lead generation versus just hiring a VA to, message people on Instagram? Why us versus other method? Or why us versus do it themselves? Okay, well, what's maybe, just so I understand the rationale, maybe the reason that you're potentially looking to work with us versus trying to figure this out on your own, right? Like Lizzie, you look like you're young. You can probably figure out TikTok. Why us versus doing it themselves? Okay. So these are very important questions. When I closed a recruiting deal recently, and he was a sales dude, big time sales guy, spooky, 500K a month, dude. I was like, cool, bro. So what's his name, Rick? I was like, Rick, hold on. One sales guy to another, man. What's the rationale of like hiring me? You've been doing sales for 20 years. Why don't you just tap into your existing network? I don't get it. Same type of question, just delivered differently. He's like, actually, that's a great question, man. If I hire any of the people in my network, I need to start paying them $150,000 yearly salary, and my business just can't do that. So I was hoping that you could help me find some good commission-only sales reps because that's what I need in my business right now. Bingo. Okay. So that is how we go from a proper connecting to finding problems to then pre-handling objections. What you guys got for me? Thank you, Tommy. Unk is cooked. Unk is cooking. Deal. Y'all can call me Deal. Okay. We're gonna go into Q&A in a second, guys. But let me pause. Let's take some takeaways. Let's have a few people either in the chat or come off mute. What are you guys taking away? What maybe are you guys unclear on something? If you want to see how we could apply it to your offer, let's take a couple minutes to do that. How long is your sales call? I like to keep when I was selling like on multiple offers, I would block off an hour. My sales calls were still about 40 to 45 minutes. So I was consequencing typically by about minute 20, 25, pitching by minute 30, 5-minute pitch, and then questions, logistics, objection handling, about a 45-minute sales call. But I like to give myself the extra in case we had objections or to kind of have a little reset between calls. Yeah, 3 pages and notes. Awesome. How to frame yourself properly. Tell me a bit more. Nika, come off mute.
No, I think it's because you asked, what did we learn today?
Oh, okay. Cool. Yes, how to frame yourself. Awesome.
Yeah, that's good. But since I'm on the phone anyways,
Go
I'm
for it.
doing a business. I'm working with a business coach. It's one-on-one consultancy. So I get a lot of different types of business owners.
Okay.
So I feel like I do have to adapt very quickly on my feet.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of business the owner, what kind of help they need, because you can go through so many avenues of business needs and business help. So, and I tend to have like really long calls, 1 hour. So it was just good to understand how to I thought that like you build rapport in the beginning because you need to establish trust with them, because how is somebody going to just give you their credit card details if they don't trust you? But it just made sense what you feel, because you can also build rapport through asking those questions.
Exactly.
Framing.
Bingo. Good stuff. I was actually just working with one-on-one with a student of mine. I still do one-on-one for some people. And we did 4 separate role plays selling life coaching, financial trading. Then I had her sell me, and then I had her sell me that. Then I sold her an RV awning and an AC unit, and the process did not change. At least the what I covered today. That process doesn't change, because no matter what you're selling, no matter what business you're dealing with, if they're coming to you, they're having usually a revenue issue or something there that you can tie the numbers to and then insert your solution. So good stuff. Elaine, before I answer your question, we're actually going to go into Q&A here in a second. So I'll hang out for the next 30 minutes, answer all your questions. But I do have a quick announcement for you guys. If you guys have found this supportive, if you want to go deeper with this type of stuff, have some hands-on support, I'm not going to pitch you guys right now, but you guys can DM me, just DM me the word training on Instagram. We have this is what we train in our program. Okay. We go into discovery, we go into objections, how to pitch. We cover everything from setting to closing to how to work a CRM, like how to be a full stack producer. Okay. My goal is to get my students to a minimum of 10 to 15K a month, regardless if they're new or they've already been in the game. We've had students do a lot more than that. You guys have probably seen Adele. Demena here has done more than that. Victoria had like some ripper months. So feel free to DM me training. We don't need to get on a sales call. We'll just send you our offer doc that has everything that you get. You get access to me and 2 other top producers in the industry. One of them still sells full time and she's a machine. We are raising prices by $1,000 come March 1st. And we had 12 spots open. Shout out to Janelle and to Julia, who took 2 of those. So we have 10 more spots open this month. Price right now, it's a 6-month engagement. It will be 4 months, and the price is going up by $1,000. So if you guys want to see what it's all about, just DM me training on Skool or on Instagram, and we'll send you all the details. And we will be taking on a lot less students come March, because we have 10 of our students flying out to Colombia for 10 days, and I'll be offline for those 10 days for a retreat. So that's all I got for you. Let's get into some Q&A. Start with where'd you go? Elaine, let's start with you, bro. Where'd you go?
Yes. Hello, guys. First of all, thank you, of course, for all of these valuable information. I wanted to know how to properly prevent the competitor other options objection before it arises at the end. Because usually they tell you what they've been doing, but at the end they tell you they're looking at something else.
Yeah, cool.
That's it.
So with the rationale question, you can ask or those types of questions. Cool, man. So if this has been a problem, like, have you been out there looking for help with this, or are we like the first step? Like, give me an understanding. So yeah, we're looking at you and a few other vendors. We want to, okay, cool, man. Well, just to see if we can even help you out, man. Like, what is it that you're looking for specifically when it comes to your next XYZ? We want to start probing into that. We want to understand what their buying or decision-making criteria is. Okay. So let's role play it out with you, man. So cool, man. So are you out, like, have you been out there looking for help with XYZ, or what have you kind of been doing?
Yes, I've been looking for some offers.
Okay, cool. Have you like talked to any other agencies, or are we the first one?
I've talked to a couple others, and I still have probably 2 to 3 meetings like after you.
Okay, man, that's a lot of meetings. What are you looking for?
I'm just seeing, what's the best offer I have in
Okay.
front of me, doing my research properly, and then I'll make an informed decision.
Yeah, totally, man. Don't want you having buyer's remorse. When it comes to your decision-making criteria, what do you feel like you're looking for to make you feel like you're making the right decision for you and your business?
Okay, mentorship, proper
Mhm.
support, course.
Okay. Can I share a perspective?
Sure.
How are you going to know what is the right decision?
Uh, I guess I'll see what everyone has to offer,
Mhm.
and then I'll compare it to maybe what I can do.
When you say
If
when you say what you can do, like, what do you mean?
in terms of money, of course,
Okay.
and in terms of, maybe like 2 of these offers are sort of alike each other, so I'll see
Yeah.
which one I vibe with the most.
Okay. So let's say, by the way, we're not going to be the cheapest, actually. And if you are looking for the cheapest option, I could probably refer you somewhere else.
Yeah.
But let's say us and another, competitor, I guess, pitched
Mm.
you the same price at the same program at the same price.
Yeah.
Outside of my pretty smile, man, like, how are you actually going to decide?
I actually don't know. It's why I'm waiting for you to tell me
Mhm.
what you have to say.
Yeah. And we'll get into that, but I want to talk into this mindset, because
Mm.
right now can I be a little direct with you?
Yeah.
We're looking to see which program checks all the boxes to give us the highest likelihood of success, right?
Okay.
Which is normal. Most people think that way. But when it comes to implementation and actually following through on the strategies that we teach, whose responsibility is it to do that?
Me.
Okay. So if the responsibility is yours, right, it's your responsibility to either make this a success or make it a failure. So what do you
Yes.
feel like you need to be doing from you to actually make sure whatever program you go into is going to give you the highest likelihood of success. How do you need to apply what you learn?
I need to take action and implement.
Okay. Someone that takes action and implements, are they someone that sits on 5 different sales calls before they make a decision?
I mean, do you just say yes to the first one that vibes with you?
No, I'm not saying that either, man. I want to make sure this works for you, but I want to challenge
Okay.
this mindset as well. Because if we carry this mindset into this program, frankly, my friend, you're going to get smoked. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to pause there for a second because we can go about this all day.
Yeah, exactly. But this
What do
is
you
where
learn?
I wonder. No, your framework is excellent, by the way, but this is where I wonder if they are too stubborn about this. Should I say, well, it seems that we can't help you and just move on, or you know what I mean? Because to some people, this is too logical.
Yes,
Like it's
like no.
embedded in them.
I would say no, because as closers, guys, are the business owners that we sell for pay a lot of money for our leads. So we don't want to just say, oh, he was a bad lead. Because if we've challenged them and we've gone through, let's say, my framework, okay, and they still say, I hear you, man, but I've invested $50,000. I'm going to have every conversation before I make a move. And I really don't want to talk about that anymore. Like if they've drawn that level of a line,
Yeah.
then okay, man, I totally get it. We'll make sure that you have everything you need. That's someone that I would be rebooking them after. I would still challenge them and I would still challenge them in objections. But that's okay, man, no stress. Let's see, like, why don't we do this? Why don't we just do this now? When's that last call you're going to have? We'll have a call at the end of it and then we'll run through your options, go through the pros and cons. But I wouldn't let that lead go without fighting for it.
Okay. Okay. So the rebooking is actually something that just clicked with me.
Rebook them then and there and then keep the call going, but rebook them for after. They're clearly
Yeah.
looking for something. Like you gave me money, so I was gonna we can talk
Of
money, we
course.
can all the things. But again, this is only if they've given us a very hard line. Like then they're like, dude, if you keep pushing me, I'm just gonna hang up. Then I would book a call for after their information calls. But I do want to challenge that way of thinking because for most B2C offers, guys, like people are just looking for price and they're looking for external conviction, which they're never going to find if they want to be successful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Who's next? What's up, Jory?
What are we talking about? I just had somebody drop off a payment. Help me.
They dropped off a payment. We'll call him, girl.
No, we're sorting it. It happened 30 minutes ago, but help me.
Help you what?
I don't know. What are we working on? Sorry, I'm late to the game.
Hey, girl, you're in the group. You're already a client. Let the
Oh
let the
man.
people on the
Okay.
outside ask some questions. You can't gatekeep me, Jory. You can't gatekeep me.
You're so good though.
Jory's coming down to Colombia. It's gonna be sick. All right, who's next? Give me some questions, guys. This is you time. Dari, Miriam, Kirby. I haven't seen a Kirby in a while. The name Kirby, love it. What's up? Love the walking treadmill. I just ordered mine.
Yeah, they're the best. Well, I'm on a fitness offer, obviously, hence the treadmill. And I sell for a professional bodybuilder who's looking to get guys on his team. Shout out to Adele. Adele has been training me on
Let's
another
go.
offer. She's amazing.
She's
And
amazing.
what I'm curious about, because my other offer owner, uses a little bit of a different script, a little bit more pain heavy. I'm curious about the application of, your framework, the connection, the data collection, the pre-handling has been chef's kiss. That's been so helpful for me.
Good.
What I'm trying to figure out is that sometimes I find the data collection and mindset reframing is where things go a little sideways with my guys. I tend to
Okay.
get a little bit better results if I just kind of push pain a little bit more. It's tough because a lot of these guys, like, they're not they're not looking for general fitness coaching. It's not like,
Okay.
what have you been doing the past? Like they've been on it. It's about the
Okay.
optimization. And so I'm curious in terms of like data collection, what that looks like for someone who's really just looking to optimize, right? Like save time,
Yeah.
stress, potentially compete as an athlete themselves, versus like a new beginner
Okay.
who's like,
I gotcha.
you
Cool.
know, yeah.
Yes. First, shout out to Adele.
Adele.
I love her. She's now actually a coach in our program because I call her my young prodigy. Yeah, she's gonna make some serious waves in this industry. Well, the data collection, I don't think you need to change that. I think you need to change how you question it, right? If people are on it, you can ask a rationale question early. It's like, cool, man, like you sounds like you know what you're doing. I'm a little confused. Like, what has you looking for some more help? Right? That's maybe some things you can bring into earlier on. Also, people looking to optimize, like people already doing good, they want to go from good to great. It's like, cool, man, sounds like you're doing good. This conversation, I guess, is about going from good to great. Help me understand why you might be looking for help with that. Or based on your, I guess, like, because you're already following this stuff, man. Help me understand, like, are you not progressing at the rate that you want? How come? So we're consequencing like the future in a way by talking about their progress. So it's not like, are you getting the results we want? Yeah, dude, I feel fucking great. But are you progressing at the speed that you want? No, I'm not. How come? What's going on? Okay. Now I'll give you this. Test this out first. Because I have do you know Kalia?
Yeah, I met her from Adele's offer. Yes.
Cool. So Kalia is selling on a similar thing as she was struggling with, like, she's like, dude, some of these guys, like, I'm not getting them at the end because they already know what they're looking for, or they're already doing well.
Yep.
So one thing I had her insert through that like limiting behavior stage is like, man, like you don't need help, but if you work with us, like, can I ask that we drop the ego and are you willing to be a student again? So that's a line we implemented in Kalia's process.
Yep.
Because what it did now during objections or during the pitch, people were more open because they bought into that frame earlier on of being a student again.
Okay.
So you're going to want to test that, maybe role play it out a bit to find a good spot for that.
Okay.
But those are the things I would say for that.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. That's helpful. Just some of the frames of like going from good to great, not progressing at the speed you want, and like sprinkling in some consequencing there. Yeah. Sometimes my guys have a hard time with the consequencing. Like one thing that I get a lot that's super annoying is I'm like, well, imagine if you did nothing and you stayed in this spot, in this plateau for the next year, like what does your life look like then? And they cannot even go there with me, right? Like they're like, it's not going to happen. Absolutely not. I won't let it happen, right? Like, and I've even tried. I'm like, well, you told me for the last 3 years that you haven't really done anything. So what's it, like how is this going to be different? But yeah, I'm just curious if you have any other ways to handle that. Like, I won't let it happen.
I'll give you a one-liner that actually Evelyn here, which this is from Evelyn, so I won't take credit for it because she's found it. She got a lot of those types of responses. Now, typically that does mean that how we're asking our consequence isn't landing, but we don't have time to diagnose that. When you get that, this is what Evelyn does. She agrees. So, for example, Kirby, tell me that. Like, I'm not going to let that happen. Go for it.
Oh, I'm not going to let that happen. Like one way or another, whether it's you guys or me or someone else. Like like I'm going to get there.
Of course, you're not going to let it happen because what if you do?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that.
There you go. There you go.
What if you do?
You agree? Yeah, of course. I don't doubt. Of course you're not. Because what if you do?
Because what if you do?
You agree with them, so all of a sudden you're opening them up, and then you're.
Yeah. Of course you're not going to let that happen to you, but.
Of course not, because what happens if you do?
Well, if I do, then I wouldn't be able to show up for my family or play with my kids or get on that stage or whatever.
And I don't know, man. Are you willing to settle for that?
No.
Oh,
No,
why not?
Because I've been settling for it, like, the past few years.
So time for a change, possibly?
Yeah, yeah,
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right, cool. I'll show you what we got here.
Okay.
There's your transit. There's your closing letter to a pitch.
Yeah, I love that. But what if you do? Of course not. What if you do? Okay.
Yeah, try that out. Role play it out a bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff. All right, who's next? Who doesn't fear the hot seat?
I have a question.
Yes, Dari, what you got?
Well, first, thank you for this training.
Yeah.
I guess something I'm a newbie, I'm not on an offer or anything like that, but something I'm finding within myself in my role plays is I have an issue of like getting deeper because I guess it's my own I'm like projecting like I don't want to push them too much. I don't want to feel like I'm prying into their life. I don't want to feel
Yeah.
like it's like this fear of making them uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What is like a mindset shift I can make in that? So it's like because you have to get uncomfortable. You have to go there. And so it's like what is something I can train within myself to be more comfortable with that?
Cool. Do I have permission to coach you for 2 minutes?
Please do.
What's your relationship with when I say being a people pleaser?
You know, I don't think I'm a people pleaser.
Mhm.
Even when you did that role play with Lizzie, when you were like, well, what is it? And me, I just get like, I'm gonna get pushback, like, don't challenge me kind of energy. So I feel like other people probably feel that way too. They don't want to be challenged, they don't want to be pushed in that regard. And so it's like I fear doing that to them because I don't want that done to me.
Okay. For most people, their relationship with like people pleasing is the single biggest thing that will stop you from making the money you want to make or going after the things you want to go after fully. Okay. Now, I would reflect on that because if you're feeling that you don't want to get uncomfortable with someone, because there's something telling you that their uncomfort might be projected onto you and it might ruin the call. Okay. A mindset change is that if you don't get uncomfortable, then they won't get uncomfortable enough to make a decision to change. And you'll leave the call having not helped someone change their situation, and their situation will continue. Okay. Now, that's from a mindset perspective. Okay. If you aren't willing to get uncomfortable, your prospects won't. And the reality is, Dari, most people do not have people in their lives challenging them. Most people don't have that. So give them the gift of being that loving interruption that might change the trajectory of their lives. Okay. From a tactical perspective, you can always feel like you can ask for permission before going deep. Hey, I know this might be a little bit of a personal question, but blank. Hey, is it cool if I just ask about that? Because I think there's a lot of substance underneath that might be useful for this conversation, blank. Is it cool if we go a little bit deeper there? Because I think there's maybe something there, blank.
Yeah.
What do you hear me say?
Yeah. Ask for permission. I like that part. I also it's also like a reflection of me. It's like if I can't get uncomfortable, I can't get paid. And then also I can't do the service that I'm signing up to do, which is to help them make an uncomfortable decision so they can make a change. And it's so funny too, because I'm always like, I want more people in my life to challenge me, but maybe on an unconscious level, I don't, because it's like I don't want people to push back at me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you get to be the source for that, right? If you want more people to challenge you, you get to give people permission by challenging others.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Therapy is included, guys. It's all good. All right, let's go. Oh, I'm going to butcher it again. Nionika.
That was right. That was good. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to the framing the authority, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I feel like I'm in the same boat as in the beginning of the call. You mentioned that Damina was, she had clients which were like 40, 50 years older. I mean, I have the same because it's targeted towards women and men 40, 50 plus. Because I'm young, I sometimes feel that maybe I'm not holding in a frame of authority. So I do appreciate you showing me how to do that through the framework. So my question is, what are other ways I can really have authority in this call with with clients that are double my age, triple my age, basically.
Yeah, it's a great question.
And and who have more experience than me, clearly. So
yeah, a lot of people in my paid community are, mid-20s or younger females, right? And the confidence is something that we work on, which comes from one, repetition, but two, one, I don't want to blanket this, but sometimes when I work with like like a 24-year-old female who's closing to older, let's say older men, they feel like they need to, when they get a response, they feel like they need to talk about that response. For example, if someone's like, yeah, like we're looking into, a few different lead generation strategies. Oh, that makes sense. Like these strategies are quite effective for XYZ. Those little things, if you're not 110% certain on what you're saying, like subconsciously will show that you don't know what you're talking about. And so just remove it. And so you'll maintain authority by just asking more pointed questions that stack on the question before it. So for example, if you're doing one-on-one business consulting, what we talked about before, just stick to the questions. So you go deeper into the questions and you'll find that you're leading the call with a lot less words. And then instead of trying to force a question, listen for the key words that you need to probe on and probe on it with one word. So if someone's like, yeah, we want to scale because we've been capped for the last 6 months, capped?
Yeah.
You're going to get so much there by just saying one word. And again, you'll find that you'll be in control of the call saying less, which is actually what's going to show you as an authority. And so people don't even have the time to think, is this 20-year-old like challenging me right now? Because you're leading with so many pointed questions. How old are you, by the way?
27.
Nice. Repetition and following a good frame, and you'll be fine.
No, thank you. I feel like I was a corporate girly, so I feel like I do have business acumen in that sense, and it helps me also framing authority. But I guess I was just also curious because I am sort of a newbie. I've just been on the offer for a month, less than a month. So
Yeah.
I was curious if there were other ways that I could just ensure that, I'm holding frame the entire conversation. Because I do realize
I'd probably reflect on all your winning calls and it's like, okay, what were the effective questions and model that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
ma'am. Let's go Lizzie, then Angela.
Okay, I'll be super fast. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am in a moment on my offer where I am setting my own appointments. So I'm wondering, once you get on the actual appointment, we starting from square one again to rebuild the momentum, or are you jumping to a certain place? Because if I do jump, I'm like missing building certain momentum, I've found, but I don't know. I'm open to your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Don't overthink it. People like,
Okay.
like I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. So,
Okay, that gives me all I need to know. Thank you.
Because sometimes, and I'll give you the reasoning why, right? Sometimes someone will like, hey, so I have these notes from our call, like just to summarize our first call, like this, and this, is that right? But you want your prospect telling themselves that.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you. That's super helpful.
Yeah. And one final thing on that. Hey, I know we just chatted a couple days ago. I have some notes, but help me understand like blank. There you go.
Perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, Angela, you're up.
Okay, I just have two quick questions. The first, I'm on an e-commerce offer. I've only been on it for a month. I'm really struggling so I'm a triage dialer, so I am actually talking to people. I'm not DM setting.
Cool.
And the leads I've just been seeing like they don't have money. So I don't even know, like I'm having a hard time even like disqualifying them because I'm like, I don't want to make them feel a certain way, but like they don't
How
even
do you know they don't have money?
So I've been told that we have to like ask like how much they have on like the call, like a discovery call with me as far as like how much they have set aside to even start this business. Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you. Cool. So Angela, I mean, before I put you through to one of our consultants, like how much do you have set aside? You can actually invest in your education and training?
I probably have like 1,000. Well,
Okay.
I would just if I was I would say probably like 100,
Be a
which
real
would
prospect. Okay,
yeah,
100.
yeah.
Okay. Oof. Okay. Well, just so you know, like if we did let you into our program, like investment aside, like we are helping you build a business that will generate XYZ. Um, we don't want to kick you to the curb. Are you in a position where if it made sense, like we could get resourceful with maybe like some, credit or things like that? Like, or how do you feel?
Um, I I mean, I feel like that could be a possibility.
Okay. And I don't want to be too personal, but do you off the top of your head, like what's your credit score?
Uh, I'm gonna be so real. There's been bad. It's been like a
Be real,
five.
be real, be real.
It was like the credit scores have been terrible, like 500.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So, you know, we want to help everybody, but you'd be working with us. We are investing into doing an XYZ. Like, what do you sell?
So we sell e-commerce and like
Okay.
yeah.
So we are investing not only in education, but you will need to be able to buy inventory and things like that so you can actually make money. I think right now, what I can do, I'm happy to send you a bunch of our free resources. And correct me if I'm wrong, but right now doesn't really seem like the time that we can actually actively invest in XYZ. Am I off or how do you feel?
I feel great. Yeah, I feel like you guys could definitely help me get to where
Okay. No, but what I mean in terms of like actually having funds to invest in XYZ, it sounds like right now might not be the best time. I'm happy to send you free resources and you can always reach back out later.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. That's how I would tie. Like if someone has less than $500 and shit credit, like, you just, I don't like writing people off. Like if someone wrote me off for my first program, I would have been a financial DQ because I didn't have shit and my credit was whack, right? But I figured it out. So I don't like writing people off. But if your owner and your manager is telling you that, and there's certain rules that the company has, that's how I would end it.
Okay. That's what I'm really struggling with because and thank you. That's super helpful. I have been like sending them free resources and like the link to like his next webinar. We have like an overview deck that we send people. Um, I guess my next just quick question is I'm really struggling. I'm in corporate America in New York City. I live on my own. I have a lot of expenses. So I want to get into this full time. Like I know this is what I want to do, but I've had such a hard time finding like offers that are willing to work with my schedule.
Yeah.
So I know that's like super random but I don't know, I wanted your advice as far as like yeah, I don't know how to make
I mean, no way to sugarcoat it. It is going to be hard, right? Because if it's between you and like someone else with your same skill set who has way more time to give me as an offer owner, like I'm going to take them.
Mhm.
So, your your advantage right now is just to get undeniably good.
Mhm.
And that means stacking up some maybe multiple setting roles. Triaging is actually a great opportunity for you to get good as a closer. Um, that is something that you're gonna want to pre-handle on an interview. And what I would be looking for maybe is like as you're getting better, when you look for a closing role, just expect to, you're gonna be working 12 hours a day,
Yeah.
like your corporate job, and then come home and take 6 to 8 calls. Like expect to take be working 14 to 16-hour days. But if you give yourself that expectation and you can give yourself a shot and you can just develop, and whether you work with me or through volume, however you want to do it, develop, then you'll be able to actually make money with less time. But there's going to be no way to shortcut that with your situation.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm doing. I'm taking calls from like 6 to 11 p.m. like Monday through Thursday, and then I have open availability Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that has been my like biggest struggle.
Yeah. I embrace it. But again, just use this as training ground. Like again, triaging, because you're talking to so many people. You can even practice the data stack I gave you.
Mm.
You might
Yeah,
as well be practicing that on your triage calls to get good,
I
you
definitely
know?
will. It's way better than what I have.
Yeah. And then yeah, just also just weight of applications. Like there's plenty of roles out there too that, you can even pitch yourself, hey, look, I'll be your overflow closer. You can even pay me less commission. And I'll make sure that if there's any inquiries coming between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. that they're not missed. So you actually have someone capturing speed to lead. Right. So that's a way you can, position yourself. So there's ways you can get creative if you need to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Finally, iPhone. I've been waiting for you. What's your name, iPhone?
Hello, it's Yuri's actually. Um, I was supposed to hop on a call with you yesterday, but
Oh yeah, you
anyways,
showed me. I'm just kidding. I'm giving you
I'm
a
sorry.
hard time.
Yeah, I was blacklisted, guys. But anyways, he forgave me. But so my question is, because currently I'm setting for a trading offer, and we do have a funnel that gets them to sign up for like a free course, but most of the time they're like thinking it's a free thing, right? So yeah, so how do I kind of start the call? Because like, can you imagine being like doing your work and then someone calls you and say like, how's your trading going? Like it's so random and out of the blue.
Yeah, for sure. I gotcha. The connecting questions we talked about, I think, will be good, but we would want to pivot. We want to tailor that to outbound. So something
Oh
with
yeah.
cold calling, like I'm not a cold calling king, but I have done outbound setting for myself. Like I was talking before. But yeah, something like, hey, it's name from XYZ. Looks like have been a part of our free community. Does that ring a bell?
Okay.
Like we
Yeah.
want to have some report. Like, give me let's run it with you. Like I'm just gonna call you. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, is that iPhone?
I Yes. Who's this?
iPhone, this is just Andrés from XYZ Trading Company. Looks like you've been in our free community for a bit. You got a couple minutes?
Um, I have a meeting right now, so
Right now, right? What are you doing picking up the phone?
right, maybe like a minute. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll take 30 seconds. Have you been actively participating in the community? Like, are you getting something out of it?
Yeah, just looking around, joining different
Okay,
communities.
gotcha. What has you joining different communities? Like, what are you looking for?
Definitely like other like-minded traders and
Cool. Yeah.
sharing our strategies.
Okay. How long have you been trading for?
Like a year now.
Okay. And what has you looking into communities to like get some support? Like, what's going on?
Um, Basically more confidence because you might figure something out
Okay.
like today and then
Yeah.
the next is
Mhm.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Well, let's see if we might be able to help with that. I don't know if we can. If we can, we can I can put you on one of our team members. We can talk through some of the strategies that we have. But based on how long you've been trading, and then boom, I'm in a problem. But that's how I would open up a call.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I think this recording will be sent out, guys, so you guys can rewatch it, write it out, transcribe it, run the transcription through chat, have chat do it. So we'll probably send it out tomorrow. For anyone that we'll keep going with the Q&A, but like I said before, if anyone does want to work with us in a deeper capacity, just DM me on Instagram or on Skool. Just DM me training because probably get a lot of DMs today. And we'll shoot you guys what we got going on. All right, let's iPhone. I'm gonna put your hand down. Let's go Adinda.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate the training. So I'm a newbie. I have like done I guess Shelby Sapp's training for the last 3 months, and I graduated that, and like
Nice.
I know there's a lot of things out there that's like saying I guess like they guarantee a job, blah blah blah. I'm getting into the process now. I had like no sales experience before. So I'm getting hit a lot with like interviews, applications, sending out messages that they're choosing like people that are have like more experience.
Yeah.
So, and I totally get that. But like I'm kind of seeing more like what kind of like would put me maybe like set me apart, like what would make me like a good thing to be like an addition to a team as like
Yeah.
a beginner, or like how can
Yeah.
I don't know, frame myself in a way where
Sure.
I've done like a lot of role play stuff like that, like I know that that is like worth something. I'm just like wondering like how can I actually like get onto like a part where they
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
actually
that's the biggest sale for you to close right now. I got you. I'll give you a couple pointers. But I also want to talk into something. I think this is important for everyone. Um, our our industry, like there's like this narrative of like if I can just get the right offer. But this is why this like I don't guarantee jobs. We do sales training, but we do get newbies that come into our program and they get land roles quite quickly because when they practice and they feel confident, then when you're on an interview, you can role play with the interviewer right there in front of 5 people and show them what you got. Okay. So some of the things that you can do, and this is going to take practice and maybe role playing, whatever. But if you're on an interview, expect that objection. Expect that to come up. Okay, you don't have a lot of experience. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's right, but we're looking for someone at least 6 months of experience. Yeah, of course. I would be too. And I got to start somewhere. Can I show you? Can we role play the most common objection your sales team is getting? And I can show you what I got right here, right now. Right. If you have the cojones to do that, not everyone does. Regardless if you drop the ball, you will be much more remembered because you're like, damn, she had the right. And you're showing, you're not telling. That's one thing. Another thing you can do is at the end of the call, you might get the objection there. Let me turn off my AC. Why am I shivering? It's like cold. Another thing at the end of the call, it's like, yeah, this was great, but we have a few other conversations to have before we get back to you. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally understand that's your process. Based on our conversation, do you feel like I'd be a good fit here? Why do you say that? What, has you potentially having other conversations versus maybe moving me to the next step? Well, the reality is you're new, so we want to talk to other people. Cool. Can I show you how I could handle that objection? So I would take some time writing that out. How do you handle that objection, right? Right. This is really no different than like we want to talk to your competitors, right? It's the same objection, right? So it's like, yeah, of course. I understand. What is it that's making you want to potentially hire someone more experienced? Oh, we just want someone with a proven track record. Got it. Can I show you how I could potentially like handle that objection as if it was a live call? Cool. Are you looking for someone, with a track, like a paper track record? Are you looking, or would you be open to someone coming in that has to prove themselves because they have no other option? Who do you think might work a little bit harder? Right. So there's a few ways that you can handle that objection. Right. So I would like brainstorm tonight, like, how could you do it? What analogies could you use to like show someone that your weakness is your strength? Right. Yeah, you don't have a lot of experience, which means you're going to do everything possible to prove yourself. Right. You don't have the luxury of like, dude, I've already done 3 million in cash, so I'm only taking inbound calls. You have no luxury, so that gets to be your strength, dude. Give me your old lead list. I will dial it for the next week. If I don't make one sale, I'll leave, no problems asked. But if I do close somebody, you give me a shot. What do you say?
Yeah.
That's my mic. That's my it's my sauce for the day.
And for like the objections, would you say like you said, like handle the most common objection they have? Is that like a price or fear, like dial that one down to the core, and then the other one just be like handle the objection of them saying that they want to go with someone else that has more experience? Okay.
Start with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for all of you guys, like, don't be a dick on interviews. I don't know because I do recruiting, and I was interviewing this one chick, and her coach told her to like take the frame of the call. And so I literally I was like, that's gonna be interesting. Go for it. She got it. And like it was like I could like it was very performative. And so I was like, all right, let me just stop you right there. Let's role play. And she absolutely crumbled. Okay. But I only threw her on the spot because I could tell like I was like, this isn't gonna fly. So for all of you guys like interviewing, like be polite, be professional, let the interview lead initially. Handle the objection when it comes up in a polite way. And also have a list of questions that you ask. Okay. Having a list of questions will show that you know what you're looking for. Because when I end an interview, I'm like, cool, what questions do you have for me? If someone's like, oh no, I'm good. It always like rubs me the wrong way. But anytime, I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but if you're like, cool, and can I ask about your team? How many setters do you have? How many closers? What like sales methodology do you guys prefer? And what is your main lead source? Okay, and what do you really like to see in your setting team? What type of communication like structure do you have, or what kind of XYZ? What CRM do you guys use? Okay, fantastic. I have experience with close. When you just have those pointed, accurate questions, it just shows that you're a professional. You want to be intentional with those. You don't want to be like, yeah, so like, what are you looking in your next setter? Like what I don't know what makes your team happy. Like, it's like cool. Tell me a little bit if it's cool if I ask like what's your company culture? What are your some core values? How does that translate to your sales team? How big is your sales team? How much monthly revenue are you guys averaging? And is that for what lead sources, paid, organic? You see, I can just rip these. I mean, I've done it so many times, but these are the questions that if I'm the interview, oh shit, okay, this girl knows what she's looking for. She might be new, but she's not to be fucked with. So these are things you can do. Cool.
Yep. Thanks.
You're welcome. I was a fire hose. You're welcome. All right. Deanna, if you want to ask a question, you got to turn your camera on. Diana Gonzalez.
I don't know when the camera is on. Is it on? Yes,
There it
is.
is.
Hello. So my question is, how can I build value in my industry? My industry is basically I'm a appointment setter, I'm an
Okay.
appointment setter in timeshares. So basically I give away vacations to people who do tours for me so that the people that are at the tours, basically closers, could sell them a piece of timeshares or, yeah. So I'm basically just selling the vacation. So some people aren't really interested because I feel like there is some resistance because there is something attached to it because they will be going into a sales presentation. So,
Yes,
it's not.
ma'am.
So it's just like I can't really.
Yo, timeshare reps are sharks.
Yeah.
Salute. Like, I respect the shit out of them. Timeshare, door to door, real estate. Like, it's cool to see actually because when the industry, because there's so many like princess, like I was guaranteed 10K a month people coming into the industry. People that come from door to door from timeshare, dude, they crush in this industry because they see what the other side of the world looks like, right? Anyway, what you could do as a setter, that's a really broad loaded question, frankly, but you're either going to
I feel like I would need to emphasize what the cost is for the vacation because, not a lot of people just have the luxury of just going to a vacation. So I feel like that's what my mind was going to right now, how it could build value. And I guess just like just putting them on the spot and like, I don't know, seeing when exactly they go on vacation or something so that I could kind of compare and like I don't know, just because it's just like 90-minute presentation. So just for like a 90-minute presentation, they don't really have to buy, but they are going to a sales presentation, right? So just for the 90
yeah,
minutes, they get a whole vacation, a week vacation. So,
right.
I still can.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. I haven't really sold that too much, and
Okay.
it's just kind of a very broad question. If you want to think on it and see if you can ask me a little bit more concise of a question, because my head goes to like strategy, like how can you have more effective like referral partners?
You're right.
But I'm not really sure.
That's okay. Well, thank you either way for your input.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I won't give you guys stuff that I don't know. If I don't know it, I'll just tell you. I know. I look like I know the answers to every. I told Megan I make no mistakes ever. Right, Megan? And then I made a mistake in that following message.
Yeah, I was like, say less. I'm not gonna correct him. I know you kicked Jory and didn't let her ask questions, but my question I feel like will
Oh
be
shit! I'm
relevant.
sorry, Jory. I was joking. You can ask
But I
questions
feel like
now.
my question's relevant because there's a lot of people and it's about interviews. So I actually just interviewed for that real estate offer I messaged you about, and I actually
Yeah.
like it. But anyway,
Okay, cool.
we'll talk about that. So I have another one tomorrow, and it's like a second round. So when you're interviewing, I feel like now that I'm interviewing again, and I
Mhm.
have certain things, like how do I give them I'm looking at other options, right? So tomorrow I have a second round. He's like, we'll probably make a decision. So how do what should I say? I'd be like, hey, I have other interviews.
Now you're the competitor objection
I'm
giver.
giving them the competitor objection, and then I don't want them to be like, well, you wasted our time. Never mind.
So our industry moves very fast, which is why there's a huge a churn rate with reps. Okay. Owners know that. So you can talk into that. It's like, hey guys, my decision in this, I want it to be very intentional because wherever I go next, I want it to be my long-term home and I want to be a top producer. I don't think you'd want to hire someone that had no other options, frankly. So to do us both the best service, I am going to have those other interviews and I'll have a firm 100% all-in answer within the next 5 days. Can you give me that time?
Okay, cool. Yeah, especially in my situation because my current offer, I hopped on it really quickly and then it turned out to not be kind of where I wanted to stay. So I want to be really thoughtful this time around. But I also don't want to be like a prospect giving them a competitor objection. So, okay, that's all.
And let me speak into that, Megan. It's really easy to gaslight ourselves with like sales frames that we live and breathe every day, right? If I don't say yes right now, my shitty prospect, how am I going to close people, right? You're making a commitment like for employment for a long, ideally an extended period of time. So you do get to weigh your options.
Yeah.
And you can always lead the call with that as well. It's like, hey, I'm not here to waste time. I'm being very what I just said.
Yeah.
And people will respect you for it.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Jory, get over here.
Okay, I'll ask a question that maybe will be actually helpful for everybody. Well, I guess maybe that's not helpful. Yeah, because it's like so specific.
No, go ahead. Ask me your specific question. I got you.
Okay. My specific question is, at what point in time do you genuinely think, that it's okay to like challenge somebody in their thought process within the call? Is there like, you need to be 5 minutes in, you need to be 10 minutes in? Is there a certain area of the call, or can you really just like challenge them off the bat?
So I know you well because we're working one-on-one. And so if I told you there's a time period, you're going to get too attached to the time period.
Valid. Valid.
So what I would say for you, when it comes up, take your shot on it. That might be 45 seconds in, and someone's like, yeah, man, this sounds great. I'll be honest with you, though. I've been procrastinating on this stuff for years. All right, well, let's talk about that. But maybe the shot doesn't happen till, later in the call. So there is no perfect time, but when it comes up, dig your heels into it.
Okay, second part of the question. Do you prefer, or do you see better success, or prefer, I guess, on saying like, can I offer you a perspective? Or do you mind if I put my coaching hat on for a second?
I couldn't tell you which is better. They're both fine. Just either way, asking for permission before you say what you want to say is what's important.
Word.
I do like being a little bit more direct with the first one.
They'll offer you a perspective.
Yeah, can I offer you a perspective? Can I share an opinion? Can I share something with you?
Jesus. Okay. I
Yeah,
just got blinded
but I
by
have no data to back that up, so I'm not going to say one or the other. It's just personal preference.
Okay.
What are you giggling at, Megan?
Me, Evelyn, and Lindsay in the chat. Evelyn said, Megan, is this how you usually make decisions about my competitor objection? I did get objection handled into a role last week, but I might refund.
I might refund. That's hilarious. Dude, when you're friends with salespeople, you just like check each other and handle each other all the time. It's the best. All right, guys. Well, I haven't checked my phone if anyone has DM'd us about the paid community, but Megan, Evelyn, Jory, Lindsay started as a student. They're real people. We didn't pay them. They're not paid actors to be here. Evelyn's a paid actor, actually. Any last questions for me, guys? I have a session with the squad in 5 minutes. I want to go freshen up for it. Any last questions? No. All right, guys, we'll do another one of these next month at some point. Maybe we'll do it while all you guys are in Colombia. We'll see. Other than that, go make some money. See you guys next time. Peace.